Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we are going to be working over in this area once again. And so in a couple of recent videos over the past couple of weeks here, we've gone through and we've made some progress in this area, and actually a lot of progress in that back corner. And I think this area is starting to really shape up nicely. But in today's video, I want to go ahead and work on this area right here. I asked you guys what should go here because while I was okay with making it more green space, like you can see right where my finger is here and all the flowers, I was cool with making this area look like that. I feel like that's kind of a waste of space, and so you guys had given me a bunch of great ideas. And so one of the ideas that you guys suggested was actually a parking lot, and so I think that's a great idea. I don't have any parking spaces in the city, and so I think having a nice little parking lot right here would go great with the train station as well as the surrounding area. So with that, let me start to rip up some of the details around here, and then we can get started. All right, so I've gone ahead and taken out 2 of the 16 by 16 plates in here. I obviously can't take this one out because it has the ramp on it, and I also want to leave a little bit of breathing room here in between the ramp and the little parking lot here. It's not much of a parking lot. It's mostly just going to be a few spaces here, but I'm also considering taking out this third one here, but I don't think I really need to. I think this will be fine because this is 32 studs here, and if I give about 8 to 10 studs of space for each of them, it'll be about 3 or 4 parking spots, which I think is sufficient. And then over here is probably just going to end up being some more green space, which I think works out pretty good. And then I can add some different kinds of details over here. I thought about using road plates for the parking lot here, but I actually have enough dark bluish gray brick, I think, to make it happen. So I think I'm going to actually brick build these parking spaces here. Hopefully I have enough pieces to make that happen. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start to clean up the edge of the Mills plate, and then we are going to go in and start to lay down this parking lot here and get the correct dimensions of it, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so I've actually gone ahead and taken off an additional 4 studs here, and so now as you can see, the gap that I've made is 20 studs deep by 32 studs long, but I'm actually going to add 2x plate back here, so then it'll only be 18 studs. Because as you can see, this is the car that I'm kind of basing this off of here. It's 8 studs wide, and it's a fair size, but it goes up to, if you put it right up against the edge of the base plate here, it goes up to about 17 studs here, plus that 1 extra for a little bit of breathing room. And so I think that is going to work out a lot nicer. I could bring over Speed Champions cars, but as long as I don't park them here, I don't think it'll be that big of an issue, because those are pretty large, and they're even bigger than this is. So I need to just be mindful of that, but I think this will turn out pretty good. I just need to go and fix up the Mills plate one more time and then add some 2x plate in, and then we can actually start to lay down the dark bluish gray brick and then figure all of that out. All right, so I've got most of the brick built section done, and I'm going to come back and add the other details in later. I just want to kind of get the base size done, and then I can come back and fix it up and make sure everything looks good. And so with that, I'm pretty much just going through and finding all of the 1x6 bricks I have. Thankfully, I got a bunch of them on the pick-a-brick wall recently. I am going to have to use most of them for this, unfortunately, but I guess that's fine. And the thing I'm actually surprisingly running low on is 1x3s. So I'm going to have to see if maybe I change up this pattern a little bit. But I guess we'll see how this all works out here. And then hopefully this will look pretty good. And then I also am going to need to rework the sidewalk. So I'm probably going to shift this in a little bit and then have 1 line of gray plate running along the edge. Think that might look pretty good, and then we can kind of see how everything is going to shape up. So let me continue working on this, and then we can come back, we can add the snot bricks in, and then add other details, and then the line breaks as well. All right, so this is what I've got so far, and as you can see, the space is mostly filled here, so I have the little bit of dark bluish gray on the outside, just to give it a little bit of breathing room, and then the white plate for the white line, the first parking space, the second, and then the third, and as you can see, I started to add in some of the details with this little concrete slab here that prevents cars from driving too far forward, and then I have this little extra space over here, which I was actually thinking about using for motorcycles, or even bicycles. I think that would be a pretty good use of the space as opposed to just making 3 really wide spots or 4 really narrow spots. So I think this works. I think this is going to look pretty good. I'm going to have to go and resize these though. So instead of being a full 7 bricks wide, I might make it 6 2/3. So 6 bricks and 2 plates, or even 6 bricks and 1 plate. I'm going to have to try that out, but I will try that and I will let you guys know how that goes. And then hopefully that'll give me a little bit more space over here to fit some bikes. And then that should be all good to go. And I do still want to add that light gray plate on the side here. So I'm going to have to do that as well. But I think this is actually starting to look really, really good. So let me continue working on this and I will show you guys how it looks. All right, so I am now over at the build table and I'm pretty much just finalizing this entire segment right here. And I think it's actually looking really good. I didn't end up narrowing these because once you actually put an 8 stud wide car in here, you can actually see that these are pretty much right at the limit. So I'm not going to shrink them down, but this seems to be enough for a bike. And I even put a little barricade for that too. And I don't know if I showed this in the last clip or if I've done it since then, but I shortened the white line by 1. I think that makes for a cleaner look, and then that kind of helps tie in with the dark gray on the side as well. And so I think that looks pretty good. The only thing I'm missing now is actually one more of the snot bricks here. And so I've never actually had that problem before. I've always been short on the regular bricks, and then all I could find is the snot bricks. And of course, the one time I need a snot brick, can't find them, and I'm only finding regular ones. So I need to go through and check one more time. I should have plenty of them because I remember buying them and also getting them from a bunch of different sets over the years. So I need to just find one more, and then we can put this in the city, and then we can add all of the details around it and make it look really, really good. All right, so the parking lot is now in the city. I did manage to find the 1 extra snot brick, so that's all good now. The only thing is that I couldn't find another 1x1 square plate in white, so I just had to use a round one. But I guess it's not the end of the world. It makes it look like the pavement is kind of roughed up. But other than that, this is looking pretty good here. The only thing is that I am just 1 stud short on space. And so as you can see, if I bring this all the way over, I could add a 1 by light gray plate down this way. And then that would be the perfect situation right here. But if you look over here, then you'll see that the plate comes right up to the edge, and then I won't have enough space for the light gray on this side. So I need to go in and I need to probably rip out this 16 by 16 here and then fix that up. And then also I can just slide this over and then make this side look all good. And then I also need to probably swap out these green 2x plates that I just added and replace them with light bluish gray, just so that I have the continuous line going around. But I think this looks pretty good overall. I'm pretty happy with this, and so this is turning out way better than I expected. So make sure to like the video if you agree, and also make sure to click subscribe as well as turn on the notification bell so you don't miss when future videos come out just like this. And so with that, we are going to continue working on this and starting to add all of the details in. All right, so I've added in the 2x light gray plate on the side here, and I've also started to wrap the sidewalk around, and I think this is actually looking pretty good. I did have to rework a lot of the plate in here, but it looks all right, and I think it's working out pretty good here. So now I just need to start coming over this way as well, and so pretty much now I need to probably remove this 4x4 plate in here, and also this row of 2x plate in here, so I need to probably redo most of this and then just make that a 2x4 and then one in green, one in gray, and then carry it throughout here and then bring it back up as well. And so that is next on my to-do list here. So let me get back to work and I will show you guys how that's looking so far. But let me just take the car out here. And I think this is looking pretty good. I think this is going to be a really, really nice addition. I'm not going to take a step back and show you guys it from a farther away perspective until it's done, just because I want to save that for the end of the video, and then we can also get the trains running around as well. But with that, I'm going to get back to work, and I will show you guys once this, at least the left area, is done. All right, so a bunch has happened since that last clip, but I've been pretty busy here, and so as you can see, the tiling now wraps around here, and I think I'm just going to make it 4 studs thick here. So it's going to be the light gray curb, and then the 1x2s, and then the 2x2s here, and I think that's going to look pretty good. I'm just trying to make sure that all of these little curbs are straight, and so it looks like it is for the most part. But this final section over here for the motorcycles or the bicycles, it is actually a little bit larger since you last saw it. And so I added another couple plates to it. I actually added 3 whole rows of plates to it, and so now this is a full 32 studs. I did have to go in and take this 16 by 16 out and replace it with light gray on the edge. So now that all looks good and it looks proper. And then I had to up this from a 1x2 to a 1x3. But this works for me. This looks really, really good. And so now all I have to do is just go in and add the rest of the details, like the cut tiles for the corners, and then the light gray tile for the curb, and then the dark gray 1x4s, and then we can add the cars, the figures, and all of the other details as well. All right, so I've gone ahead and added all of the details in, and so as you can see, this is now looking pretty much done. The only thing left is obviously all the detail around here and all of this green space, but I love how the shaping of this turned out. I really like the use of the corner tiles here, or the triangle tiles, and then I also used the cut ones in the corners as well to help round it out. I should probably also do that over here, but I don't know. I think this just looks really good, and I like the little bit of a gap here, so we can go in and we can add some foliage here, as well as along the back side as well. And then I think this is really starting to come together, and so as you can see, I also added a bike here, and then someone with the skateboard. I'm not going to add a bike rack because this is mostly intended for motorcycles, so I think it's fine. I think this looks pretty good. And then the only thing missing from this area, obviously the foliage, but this tree right here, I took this out from the beginning of the video, and so now we just need to figure out how to add this back. Probably gonna have to make it a little bit taller. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to go in and add all of that foliage today because I don't have any more of these green 3-leaf pieces here, nor do I have any Wolverine claws. And so I need to get those in. I have the 3-leaf pieces on order directly from Lego, so hopefully that should get here within the next week or so, and then we can go in and we can detail all of this up. But for the time being, I'm just gonna have to put the tree in and then kind of call it a day. But let's place the tree, let's find out a good spot for it, and then we can run the trains and see how everything is looking. So as you can see, here is the parking lot here, and I have the Horizon Express going around the layout now. And so the train station is basically done, except for obviously all the foliage and small details and things. But this looks great. The tree, as you can see, I added in right there. The trunk is a little skinny when you compare it to the other ones, but I think it's fine. It is a considerable amount shorter, so I think that works, and I think it looks pretty good. But as you can see, the parking lot here looks great, and the cars do not go into the road here, so when they're in the spot, they have enough space. So that looks great. I'm very happy with that. And as you can see, the trees are in line with each other, which helps separate from the buildings and the train tracks here. So that works for me. I think that looks really, really good. That makes me happy. We've made a lot of progress in this area recently between finishing this corner of the city and also the custom buildings here, both the completed supermarket as well as the work in progress building right here, as well as the work in progress building right there, and then the apartment building sections right there. And so we've made a lot of progress in this area recently, and this makes me really, really happy to finally see this all coming together. And the vision from my head is finally starting to take shape in real life. And so if you guys are enjoying this as much as I am, or even half as much as me, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. This is going to wrap up today's video, but if you guys have any feedback for me on anything you want me to add to this area other than foliage, make sure to drop a comment down below to let me know what you think. But once again, seriously, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to let the train pass by one more time, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye for now.